Hello my dear friends and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. In today's video we're going to be talking about The Mandalorian Season 3, some director news and more. As always my dear Megalorians, before we dive into it, please may I ask you to hit that big red subscribe button if you've not done so, and also be sure to give that bell a good old tickle to be alerted each and every time that I post a new video. So without much further ado and without any more jibber jabber, let's dive straight into it. So we're going to be talking about a character rumour for The Mandalorian Season 3, but let's start by talking about Chloé Zhao, who's hinted she might be tackling a Star Wars project. This is from The Insider and they say the following: could Eternals director Chloé Zhao make the move from the MCU to the Star Wars universe? She may have hinted at the possibility in a recent interview with Empire magazine. While speaking on Eternals for the publication, the Oscar-winning director was asked about her next project, and during the interview Zhao brought up Star Wars multiple times, and when she was asked the question, would you like to direct a Star Wars movie, she said the following: I have to tread very carefully with what I say. Yes, let's say it's a world I have so much reverence for because it was such an important part of my life. According to insiders, the early reception of Eternals is through the roof. It's likely that the Walt Disney Company wants to continue working with Zhao moving forward, and in the future it seems like she could be tackling a Star Wars project. Now I think this could be awesome because, as she says, she loves Star Wars, it was a huge part of her life, and as long as she understands what it is that makes Star Wars special and is respectful to the existing universe while adding something amazing to it, I'm all for her directing a project. She is a talented director and I suspect that she'll be involved in Kevin Feige's upcoming movie, which I believe is the 2027 release. But when Eternals comes out in November, we'll have a much better idea of Chloé's directing style in that genre, but from these early reviews, it looks like it's going to be a banger. So now my dear Megalorians, let's talk about Star Wars Rebels and how more characters are rumoured to be in The Mandalorian Season 3. Ever since Star Wars Rebels ended in March of 2018, fans of the show have wanted to know if we're ever going to get a sequel. Well, between The Mandalorian and its spin-off shows, we're witnessing a sort of Rebels revival, or Rebels sequel if you will, but this time in live action. After Bo-Katan and Ahsoka Tano made their live action debuts in The Mandalorian Season 2, the Ahsoka series is set to feature the return of Thrawn, Ezra Bridger and Sabine Wren, but we've also heard of plans for characters like Hera Syndulla to come to live action in future projects. And this begs the question of who else they might introduce to continue the Rebels story in the upcoming shows. Well, a new rumour that's popped up over the last couple of days is that Kevin McKidd, who voiced Favreau in Rebels, has been seen on the set of Mando at Manhattan Beach Studios. Even though filming has only been going for a week, as we learned from Bespin Bulletin recently, if McKidd is involved, it could mean that our suspicions about the plot of Season 3 might be correct. Ever since Din Djarin won the Darksaber in the Season 2 finale, we knew that Season 3 would likely take us to Mandalore and be very much centered around Mandalorian lore and tradition. And this is accompanied by the fact that the Armorer is rumored to be in Season 3 as well, after Emily Swallow gave a very cryptic answer at a recent convention. But going back to the plot of Season 3, now that Grogu is training with Luke, the Jedi subplot might be placed on hold temporarily, or we might see Grogu in a different series, and The Mandalorian Season 3 is going to go back to the roots of the show, being about Din primarily and his new adventures going to Mandalore. Katie Sackhoff's Bo-Katan is also set to be a huge part of the third season because she's still after the Darksaber herself but wants to win it rightfully this time and not just be handed it. Since this is the direction that Favreau and Filoni seem to want to take, it makes complete sense to have other surviving characters from Rebels making their way into live action. Fen Rao appearing in The Mandalorian Season 3 might be an issue for Din Djarin if Bo-Katan chooses to challenge him for the Darksaber, because Fen Rao pledged his allegiance to Bo-Katan in Rebels before Moff Gideon got hold of the Darksaber himself. We presume that Fen Rao is still going to be on Bo-Katan's side based on their history, so if Bo-Katan is going to challenge Mando for the Darksaber, Fen Rao is going to be behind her, but ultimately Bo-Katan has to win it for herself without any help. I'm aware that not everyone has seen Rebels, so just to recap, Fen Rao was a Mandalorian male who served as Skull Leader during the Clone Wars and after the rise of the Empire as the leader of the Protectors of Concord Dawn. As a Protector, Fen Rao belongs to an ancient group of elite Mandalorian warriors who served as royal guards for the ruler of Mandalore and maintained balance in warrior culture. Much like the Children of the Watch, they take tradition very seriously. When the Galactic Empire claims control of their homeworld, the Protectors established a base on the third moon of Concord Dawn in the Concord Dawn system. Under the leadership of Fen Rao, the Protectors formed an alliance with the Empire. He did eventually join the rebellion to help Sabine Wren and her family against Gar Saxon, but ultimately, after his last appearance in Season 4's Heroes of Mandalore, we never found out what became of Fen Rao. If Kevin McKidd reprises his role, but this time in live action, we can confirm he's still alive during the New Republic era. But this also begs the question of what other Rebels characters might appear. Since they're all Filoni characters, outside of other Mandos, there's a good chance they're going to appear in the Ahsoka series, which is basically all Filoni. Over the years, Rebels has definitely amassed a passionate following, and I fall into that category myself. If you haven't seen Rebels, I urge you guys to go and watch it. It'll help you understand the Ahsoka series so much better, and with more and more animated characters coming into the live action shows, you'll be essentially rewarded if you already understand who these various people are. Now, I know that some fans just can't get into the animated stuff even if they've tried, and that's completely fine, but Rebels is truly a masterpiece that captures the essence of what makes Star Wars great. It's true to the key themes that George Lucas set up, and just as an overall story, it's absolutely incredible. And I do often have people in the comments asking me if they should watch the animated shows, and I will always say, go and watch them. Especially with Rebels, you might find the first 2 or 3 episodes a bit boring, but I promise you it picks up really quickly. So as I say, you will not regret checking it out, and you'll be able to appreciate the subtleties of the upcoming series a lot more. Outside of the Bad Batch, I've really stuck to the live action content here on my channel, so Rebels has not been the focal point of many discussions. But that will definitely change if Lucasfilm do decide to include more of these characters in the upcoming shows. It started with Bo-Katan, and then we got Ahsoka, and who knows, we could get Hera Syndulla, Jacen Syndulla, we know we're getting Sabine Wren, Ezra, Thrawn, and we could even get Fen Rao. So if you go and watch these shows, you'll understand the backstory to these characters and why they matter. So I'll keep an eye out and report on any more rumours that come up in the next few weeks and months, particularly to do with upcoming cameos in The Mandalorian Season 3. But otherwise, my dear friends, that brings us to the end of this news update. If you guys enjoyed it, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're brand new, and a huge welcome if you are. And also, if you're feeling generous, please consider becoming a patron. The link is down there in the description, and you get exclusive access to videos that are not found here on YouTube. And you also get access to my Discord server. But otherwise, my dear friends, may the Force be with you. I'm Star Wars Meg, wishing you a phenomenal rest of the day, no matter where you dwell in the galaxy. Have a good one.